very warm welcome to Amhara Media Corporation. This is our daily news live from the studio. I am Gaila Damu. Stay with us. The Council of Ministers has declared yesterday a state of emergency throughout the country. The state of emergency will remain in force for 6 months. Bugardi Zaudu reports.
A task force which will work under the Prime Minister to implement the new state of emergency has been established yesterday. Briefing the media yesterday, Attorney General Gideon Timotheos announced the details of the state of emergency. He said, Ethiopia needs a state of emergency because its internal and external sovereignty is at stake due to the terrorist attack of TPLF and its external allies.
Currently, our country's unity and sovereignty is at risk, and we cannot control the situation with a normal law enforcement operation. So we are trying to create a platform which enables security organizations, the government and citizens to work together and divert the situation under similar emergency state.
The Ministers' Council proposed the conditions for the state of emergency yesterday, and it is expected to be ratified by the People's Representatives Council in 48 hours.
A task force will be formed to maintain and control as well as implement the conditions of the state of emergency. The task force will be working under the Prime Minister. The working conditions of the task force will be decided by the Prime Minister, and other task forces will be formed if necessary.
The state of emergency will be implemented in all regions and cities of the country.
In this case, the National Army will be taking orders based on the state of emergency conditions, and the task force will order the youth to train and join the army. It will force armed people to go for war or return their weapons to the state if they are unwilling to join the war. In addition, the task force has the authority to put curfews in selected towns.
According to the Attorney General, the task force will have the authority to arrest people who are related to the terrorist TPLF and hold them under arrest to unlimited period of time.
ከሽብር ቡድኖች ጋር ይተባበራል ብሎ ምክንያታዊ በሆነ መልኩ የተጠረጠረ ማንኛውም ሰው ያለ ፍርድ ቤት ትዕዛዝ በቁጥጥር ስር እንዲውል ለማድረግ አዋጁ
The task force has the power to arrest people related to TPLF without a court order and can keep them in jail for unlimited period of time. It has also the authority to take properties of those who are working with the terrorist TPLF. In addition, the task force had the power to stop an individual and ask identification or check the person if he or she is armed and take his or her weapon if it is necessary.
ያለ መበርበሪያ ፈቃድ ሳያስፈልገው መበርበር ማንኛውንም ሰው ማስቆም ማንነቱን መጠየቅ መፈተሽ በርበራ ማካሄድ በብርበራ የተገኘ መሳሪያም ካለ መውረስ ይችላል.
The General Attorney noted that the first step of the state of emergency is to be abided by the terms and conditions of it.
ያስቸኳይ ጊዜ አዋጁን ወይም ያስቸኳይ ጊዜ አዋጅ መምሪያ እዙን እንቅስቃሴና አላማ የሚቃረን የሚቃወም ለሽብር ቡድኖች አላማ መሳካት አስተዋጽኦ የሚያደርግ
Speaking against the state of emergency, speaking in favor or support of TPLF or disseminating false news to terrorize the public is forbidden. Supporting the terrorist TPLF in any way, in moral and in finance, could be punished. Conducting public demonstration without the permission of the task force is also forbidden.
ማንኛውንም የአደባባይ ስብሰባ ወይም ሰላማዊ ሰልፍ ማድረግ የተከለከለ ነው.
It is also pointed out that people who don't own identification card should hold a temporary one from their close subsidy administration.
በመመሪያው መሰረት ጊዜያዊም ቢሆን የመታወቂያ ወረቀት የመያዝ ግዴታ ይኖራል ማለት ነው. በተጨማሪም ወሳኝ በሆኑ
Everyone should have an identification card, even if it is temporary, in 2 weeks' time. Making any service unavailable and participating in any economic conspiracy is not allowed. The last one is concerned with the law enforcement operation officials, which is using this state of emergency for their own benefit and abusing people by it is forbidden.
ረቦቻችን ላይ ይሆናል ያልተገባ ጥቅምን ለማግኘት በማሰብ አላግባብ ስልጣንን መጠቀም አላግባብ ዜጎችን ማንገላታት በዚህ አዋጅ የተከለከለ ነው
Central Committee member of Tigray Democratic Party, Hailemariam, said that the terrorist TPLF is sacrificing multitude of Tigrayan youth by using them as human waves to meet its goal of disintegrating Ethiopia. Abebe Brahani tells us more.
Hailemariam Hilluf added that the group also uses children of the masses as cannon fodder while their children are studying abroad. The terrorist TPLF has now invaded the Amhara and Afar regions with influx of child soldiers and is committing unimaginable atrocities. During its armed struggle and years in power, the terrorist group had plundered the country's resources by collaborating with foreign enemies who do not want Ethiopia's existence. The embezzled money is currently used to finance agents and pay for tuition of their children. He elaborated that the leaders of the terrorist group are getting their children educated in Europe and the United States with the wealth they have looted from Ethiopia, but sacrificing children of the poor.
TPLF ያስፈጀነ ያለው ባይዞ ጄኖሳይድ ያወጀበት ነው ያለው ቁጥር አንድ የተንበን እንደርታ በኋላ ሆኖ
TPLF has been forcefully deploying the people of Temben and Nderta for war. Not only this, they themselves also attack the people being at their back. When the people try to retreat, they mercilessly kill them. Large number of youths have been killed around Temben. They are declaring genocide on the people of Temben. So, not only the people of Ethiopia, the international community should also understand this atrocity.
የረገፈ ወጣት እኔ ልነግር አልችልም ባይዘው እነሱም በኋላ እስካሁን አልሞቱ የተንቤን ህዝብ ጄኖሳይድ ያወጀበት ነው ይሄንን የኢትዮጵያ ህዝብ ብቻ ሳይሆን ዓለም አቀፍ ማህበረሰብ እንዲያቅል
Hailemariam, who served under the interim administration of Tigray during the law enforcement operation, exposed the leaders of the terrorist TPLF for putting the children of Tigray in the war. He stressed that the international community should be aware of the terrorist group's war crimes that puts children and youth in battlefronts. It is to be recalled that the daughter of the terrorist TPLF military head, Tzadkan Gebretinsae, recently graduated from Boston University, USA. Children of most of the other leaders are also abroad, getting educated at expensive foreign universities.
የተንቤን እንደርታ ህዝብ የሳህር ሳምር ህዝብ የወገራት የራያ ህዝብ ለማን ነው ሞቶ ያለውት
whom the people of Temben, Nderta, Sahart Samr and Raya are dying for. They should ask themselves this question. It is General Tzadkan who controlled the land of Raya for investment with monopoly. His daughter has graduated at the University of Boston recently. Son of Siyabraha has also been attending his education at the University of America with the wealth of the people of Tigray.
እዛ አሜሪካ ሆኖ ቦስተን አለ የሚባል ትምህርት ቤት ነው የሚማረው በማን ሀብት በትግራይ ሀብት ወርቁ በተሰረቀ እዛ
According to Hailemariam, Tigrayans who oppose the terrorist group intentions are killed and those who escaped have been subjected to persecution.
ይህንን ህዝብ አንድን ከሆነ አንድ አይነት ከሆነ እኛን ያሰጋናል አያስኖሩም
TPLF leaders fear that if the people are united and stand together, they will be a threat for their existence. Earlier, I remember that people who are from Adwa and Agami used to come and work here in our area. However, these days, even the people of Temben themselves are migrating to Amhara, Sudan, Arab and other areas. So this shows that economic sabotage has purposely been made on these people.
ኢኮኖሚካል ምን አደረቁት ሆን ብሎ ነው ባይዘው ሆን ብሎ ተሰርተበታል ህዝቡ
The Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Party said that all Ethiopians must take part in the survival campaign that has been carried out in the country. Brian Workena has the details.
The party called on the people to organize themselves and reverse the destructive agenda of the terrorist TPLF group. Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Party Public Relations Head Megabi Haddis Abraham Haiman said the terrorist group had from its very inception the goal of disintegrating Ethiopia and establishing a country to be called Great Tigray. The head recalled that the disagreement among Ethiopian forces of unity during the Derg regime created a good opportunity for the TPLF to come to power, and the group seized the opportunity to plunder the country and achieve its dream of disintegrating Ethiopia. He noted that TPLF is an anti-Ethiopia group which created a system of education that deepened ethnic differences in the country and caused the current economic crisis. According to him, Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Party has been fighting not only the Derg but also the anti-Ethiopian TPLF group. Members of the party are still playing their part in the diplomatic and the military aspect of the campaign. The terrorist TPLF group has tried many attempts to expand racism in Ethiopia. Basically, the group has made to weaken unity of the people using its divisive rule. It was a group who has been working, including its manifesto, in the education curriculum of the country. And it was the group who has been administrating Ethiopia to achieve its intended objective of robbery. But now the TPLF clique has made the country to have economic crisis. Voicing his strong support for the recent call of the federal and Amhara regional governments for the people of Ethiopia to defend the sovereignty of the country, Megabi Haddis Abraham revealed the terrorist group has been carrying out massacre and attacking Ethiopians in all directions. We support the commitment and mobilization of the government being done. We need to continue in a strengthened manner. Even though the press conference of Amhara regional state is late, we admire it. It is a matter of survival not only to Amhara people but also to the people of Ethiopia. We must not wait the destructive force to knock at our door. It is a group coming to dismantle the country and destroy the unity of the people. He pointed out that there should be no Ethiopian who does not participate in such survival campaign, as the group is an enemy that has come to destroy Ethiopia and Ethiopians. We at the Ethiopian Revolutionary People's Party acknowledge the sacrifice being paid, and we stand on the side of the government to destroy the terrorist TPLF group once and for all. We must form structured organization everywhere. We should not focus only in Wollo and Afar region. Therefore, we have to get prepared. It is due to lack of preparation we are sacrificing by now. The youth should join to basic military training institutions. We Ethiopians should stand on the side of the government, and we have to follow the legal structure and move in our country.
Media and communication scholars at Hawassa University said Ethiopia needs to expand its options to make the truth accessible to the international community in order to counter the deviant Western media report. Brown Workana has the details.
Scholars approached by Ethiopian News Agency say that Ethiopian media outlets have great responsibility to inform the new beginnings to the international community so as to avert the dissemination of misleading information by Westerners about Ethiopia. The scholars stated that the government has to use international languages and social media to show the reality of the country. Lecturer of Development Studies and Journalism in Hawassa University, Dr. Melissa Odejene said balance and fairness are the primary principles of journalism. These days, the report of Western media is one-directional because the issue the information and the narrative lies on one side. Therefore, during this time, ethical principles of journalism is falling down. Basically, in the history of journalism, this is the time where Ethiopia is being pressured by Western media outlets. Therefore, the report lacks the basic principles of journalism and it is all about propaganda. Dr. Melissa further stated that the main reason why Westerners disseminating misleading information is not emanated from lack of professionalism, rather to show the interest of pressurizing on the internal affairs of the country.
የኢትዮጵያ ሚዲያ ምን ማድረግ አለበት? በጣም striking የሆኑትን በጣም ወሳኝ የሆኑትን
The Ethiopian media outlets should make the most decisive issues headline on Twitter campaigns. In addition to this, Ethiopian media outlets should report the issue using international languages like Arabic and English, so as to counterbalance for the dis and misinformation of Western media.
በውጭ ቋንቋዎች ፕሮግራሞችን ዜናዎችን ማድረስ
Media and Communication Department head at Hausa University, Hiwat Hailu, on her part stated that the report of some Western media about the atrocities of the terrorist TPLF is protruding from the principles of journalism. She said Western media have been reporting the government's law enforcement operation wrongly.
የአይን እማኞቹ ናቸው ተብሎ ኢቭን የሚቀርቡ ሰዎች እነማን ናቸው? ከአሸባሪ የኢትዮጵያ መንግስት አሸባሪ ብሎ ከፈረጀው ቡድን
Even the eyewitness accounts are directly selected from the members of the terrorist TPLF group, not from the innocent civilians in Western media outlets. Apart from this, the report of some Western media is showing the meddling on the internal affairs of the country. Therefore, the main reason of Western media's report is to make the current situation of Ethiopia to become aggravated and to create a platform of dismantling one another.
እርስ በርሳችን የምንበታተንበትን መንገድ ለመፍጠር ነው።
He would further stated that togetherness and unity of the Ethiopian people have created threat to Westerners by now. She also requested Ethiopian media outlets to focus in work on reports that show unity of Ethiopian people.
አንደኛ ሚዲያዎቻችን አንድ መሆናችንን ማሳያ በሆኑ ስራዎች ላይ ትኩረት ማድረግ መቻል አለባቸው።
Primarily, Ethiopian media outlets should focus on issues that make Ethiopian people united. Secondly, the media should work on enhancing the psychology and create awareness to the public. Unity is a base for people, so Ethiopian media outlets should focus on reports to make the people united.
የህብረተሰቡ አንድነት ላይ ሚዲያዎች መስራት መቻል አለባቸው።
She said Westerners are not happy about the fact that Ethiopia is playing great role in the Horn of Africa. Therefore, the government has to use different alternative media to prevent the pressure of Westerners on Ethiopia.
That's all the news we have for today. I'm Gaila Damu. Thanks for watching and stay tuned with the rest of our programs.